Welcome to the IHSA Girls Championship Special presented by Country Companies. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by Pepsi. Nothing else but Pepsi. And by Ameritech, your link to better communication. And by Wendy's, supporting excellence in high school students through the Wendy's High School Heisman. We're going to now kick it out to Normal, Illinois for the girls 2A semifinals where Mike Liederman and Yvonne Simmons are at Illinois State University. Guys?
Thanks very much, Darrell and Danny, and welcome to Redbird Arena. The usual chaos, of course, surrounds the wonderful time of March Madness. Well, you've heard of the TV series Upstairs, Downstairs. Welcome to our Sports Channel IHSA mini-series called Upstate, Downstate. Those are the matchups for the two semifinals today. Two Chicago powers. We're going to have Loyola. We're going to have Marshall in just a couple of minutes. Galesburg and Taylorville, the downstate power, is going to square off right now. Two teams with not only similar undefeated records, but very similar styles.
Mike, they do have very similar styles, an up-tempo play, emphasis on defense with pressure on the basketball, and play within the passing lanes.
Allison Curtin, number 10, watch her for Taylorville.
Allison Curtin is a very complete player. She's athletic and she's a great rebounder. Yesterday she got in some foul trouble. They're going to need her all day in the game today.
And when Galesburg has the ball, that usually means Molly Watson.
Exactly, Mike. Molly Watson has the ball for 85% of the time. Today's going to be a key for her. She's going to have a taller player guarding her. Yesterday she was 2 for 12 from the field. We look for her to get started early.
Well, 33-0, both teams, so something has to give here in the first semifinal. We'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes. Right now, let's send it back to our Sports Channel studios.
All right, they're rocking and rolling down there in Normal, Illinois, as well as right here in the Sports Channel Report studios. We're joined by Danny Tyler, the Olympian, the softball Olympian, who came back with the gold this year. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. It's going to be a fun day.
Oh, it's going to be a blast here on Sports Channel, but there's one little FYI that most of us didn't even know about, Danny. Not only are you an Olympic softball player as well as a medalist, you also played high school hoops right in their own area here out in Oak Park River Forest. What memories do you have most about playing high school ball when you see the state finals coming up, the March Madness and all that stuff around us right now?
Yeah, I really remember the excitement that comes up towards the state tournament time. Unfortunately, I never made it to state, but one thing that I did really enjoy was watching the girls, the intensity, everything getting so exciting right around state time. It was always fun to watch.
And again, the competition year in and year out is getting better and better. We've got a full day for you right here. Not only do we have the girls 2A semifinals, we also have college hoops, the MCC, as well as the Mid-Con finals. And then we come back later tonight with the girls 2A championship right here on Sports Channel. Dan will be with us throughout the day. She's not going anywhere. Neither am I. We're going to keep you right here. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to take a time out. Keep it right here on Sports Channel. We got plenty more coming up all day long here on SC. Keep it here. We're coming right back. All right, welcome back to Sports Channel. We're getting ready for game one between Galesburg and Taylorville in the semifinals. But this is how both teams got there, Danny. Galesburg defeated Homewood Flossmoor 66-42. Taylorville defeated Buffalo Grove 69-61. Both games were blowouts, although that second score does not show it. But again, this should be an evenly matched game going into today.
Oh, it's going to be very tough. Galesburg's got their leading scorer, Molly Watson, who's going to end up being at DePaul this year, so we're going to keep her in the Chicago area. And she's pretty tough. I guess she didn't have the game that she expected last night, but she's going to come back probably and want to really come out with the state championship, put it all together for these semifinal and final games, hopefully.
I guess we're going to find out in just a bit here. We're going to take another break. Keep it right here as our IHSA special day continues. Don't touch that dial or remote.
Let's join our national anthem right now, being performed by Beth Wilkinson from Lyons LaGrange High School, supported by the Polk County Band.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The crowd is revved up. Everybody's pumped. Let's check in now with our public address announcer, Jeff Frenson, for the starting lineups for the first semifinal game.
Here are the starting lineups for the first semifinal game of the 1997 Girls Class AA State Championship. For the Lady Tornadoes of Taylorville, who bring a record of 33-0 into the game, 5'9" junior, number 10, Allison Curtin. And for the Silver Streaks of Galesburg, who also bring a 33-0 record into the game today, a 5'4" senior, number 14, Molly Watson. For Taylorville, a 5'5" sophomore, number 14, Suzanne Curtin. For Galesburg, number 32, a 5'9" junior, Melanie Pendergrass. For Taylorville, a 5'9" junior, number 30, Laura Weber. And for Galesburg, a 5'8" senior, number 40, Angie Gallion. For Taylorville, a 5'10" junior, number 32, Alexis Gibbons. For Galesburg, a 5'11" senior, number 52, Jessica Thompson. For Taylorville, a 5'9" senior, number 42, Erin Maxwell. And for Galesburg, a 5'11" sophomore, number 54, Sarah Larson. Taylorville is coached by Carol Wilson. Galesburg is coached by Evan Massey. Your officials today from Dalton, Leonard Sanford, and from Chicago, Pamela Young.
The Country Company's starting lineups. First for Taylorville, they will be the visitors in their purple and gold uniforms. They will be starting a senior, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. The guards, Suzanne Curtin and Laura Weber. The forwards, Allison Curtin, Alexis Gibbons, and Erin Maxwell. Meanwhile, over on the other side for Galesburg, 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore. Laura Weber's the point guard. The others, Molly Watson, Pendergast, Gallion, Thompson, and Larson. Let's go over to our man on the sidelines. He's Eric Collins.
Thanks, Mike. Now, not only is the battle of the unbeaten, it's going to be a battle of the crowds. Now, yesterday they had a record here at Redbird Arena. Almost 8,000 fans showed up here. It's a quarterfinal record, and today they're expecting even more. Now, take a look around. You got Galesburg. They have over 1,600 people here today. They're expecting a big crowd. And over here, look at this. Oh, my God, at Taylorsville, they're expecting almost 4,000 people. You have to remember the community is only 11,000. Wow.
We are underway. There you see Taylorville with the ball. They are in the visiting uniforms in the purple. Up and missing is Erin Maxwell. Rebound fought for, grab by Jessica Thompson. And here comes Galesburg. Pendergast missing long.
Both teams really look on the inside, so that are going to be keys there. Angie Gallion is a big penetrator for Galesburg. She really starts things off there by driving on that baseline. You see it here. She gets her points on the free throw line a lot of times, attacking the basket, getting the foul, and now she's going to attempt on the free throw line.
And we get the first foul of the game. Here is Angie Gallion, only about a 54% free throw shooter. And free throws in general in high school basketball, not to mention some of the pros we know, have been problematic. So Gallion missing her first. First point of the ball game. So Galesburg takes the 1-0 lead and immediately puts on its full court press.
Anytime there is a dead ball or they have made a basket for Galesburg, they put on a full court press. Usually very effective in that press. Taylorville did a nice job of breaking it.
Looking inside for Allison Curtin underneath, but missing the shot. There are two Curtins in there. The sisters, Allison and Suzanne. That is Suzanne trying to save the ball out of bounds, and Taylorville is hoping it will be Curtins for Galesburg. We'll see what happens.
That was good, Mike.
And Taylorville comes up with full court pressure on the dead ball. We're going to see both teams pressing a great deal all length of the floor.
Galesburg does a really nice job at swinging the basketball, whether it's throwing it past court or using the high-low, the high post to swing the basketball. They do a nice job at taking a look at the defense.
Pendergast missing from three-point range.
And that's really where the battle is going to be for these teams too, is also on the rebounding edge. Taylorville, a very strong rebounder. A lot of people go to the offensive glass.
Just the start of things. 1-0 for Galesburg. The turnaround by Gibbons. Alexis Gibbons, averaging 10.5 points a game, gets the first bucket for Taylorville. And again, they go to the press. Nearly stolen by Suzanne Curtin. Here is Molly Watson. Watson from three.
And that's what you want to see. Yesterday, as I mentioned in the open, she was 2 for 12. Nice looking shot there. She had all day to take it. Good job.
4-2 lead for Galesburg. Up it comes. This is Erin Maxwell, and the only senior answers.
And that's throwing off their break in the transition. Galesburg really worried about the defense, left somebody open, and Taylorville's going to nail you.
Well, there was speculation this is going to be a run-and-gun, run-and-shoot action, and we've got it so far. The scramble for the loose ball. Look at this. The scrum is here. Saved by Galesburg. Underneath. Thompson.
And that's just hustling for the basketball. Referee almost got in the way and got knocked over.
It's almost like a football foul. And it looks like Watson is going to commit the foul. First on Molly. Well, let's take a look at this, Yvonne.
Take a look at here. This is all-out hustle. That ball goes on the floor. The coaches tell you, you better be diving, and all of Galesburg's team is on the floor trying to get the basketball. They come up with it. Referee in the way, not a problem, move, and then they make the basket. The referee knew I got to get out of here.
Non-shooting foul. Taylorville with the ball, trailing by 1. And the turnover against the Tornado. And we'll get our first substitution. We're getting Megan Pacheco, a freshman. She is coming in, a physical presence. And Meg Sherwood also comes in for Galesburg. So quickly, Evan Massey substitutes, and here's the steal. Laura Weber.
And that's really an athleticism that Weber brings to the front part of that press there. She's very athletic, can handle the ball once she does get the steal.
Watson working against.
Again,
Curtin, and here's Allison with the steal.
Quickness and playing in the passing lanes, anticipation.
Allison Curtin had been averaging nearly 30 points a ball game through the playoffs until the quarterfinals when she got into foul trouble. She's got her first bucket here. We get a foul going against Weber.
And Taylorville really presses to get the steal, and they do a nice job of doing that. And what they want to do is create layups for themselves every time down the floor. They can spot up, though. Don't let them fool you.
9-6. Taylorville in the lead, and we get a timeout right here. 4:46 to go. We'll be back as we look at Carol Wilson.
The Bulls opened their dream season and busted. Now Scotty and company return to melt the Celts. See the Bulls and Celtics, and afterwards go live in the locker room.
Amid the tornado of Taylorville fans, we'll tell you the broadcast rights to today's games have been granted to Sports Channel and Intersport by the Illinois High School Association. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this event without the written consent of Sports Channel, Intersport, IHSA is prohibited. You look at the Galesburg bench, Evan Massey's team, and there, coming over for Taylorville, Alexis Gibbons. She's already got a bucket. Her team leads by 3 as we're underway with 4:45 to go. Taylorville 3 for 5. Galesburg 3 for 5. Both teams 60% from the floor. This is Molly Watson working against Allison Curtin. And they drop back into their zone. Watson from a long 3. Curtin the rebound. Allison Curtin. This is Pacheco guarding her. Underneath for Erin Maxwell.
Good look by Allison Curtin. It was a long pass, but the key to that was that Erin was moving for the basketball. You see her setting up here on the baseline. She moves to the basketball to go and get it. Nice little move to the basket. Very aggressive to the basket. And takes her shot and uses the glass.
Fouls on Meg Sherwood. That's her first. She goes out. Angie Gallion comes back in. Gallion the starter. And here is Erin Maxwell. Not a bad free throw shooter. 75%. Completing the three-point play. She's got 6 points. 12-6 in favor of the Tornado. Here comes Galesburg now.
Taylorville is going to make Galesburg beat them from the outside right now. They're doing a nice job at really clogging up the middle and making the post work.
Long 3 by Pendergast misses. And up Pacheco the rebound.
And that is exactly why Pacheco's in the ball game. She gets her points off of putbacks.
First 2 for Pacheco. And back the other way, the shot missed. Givens gives the ball off. And Suzanne Curtin missing. Again, the scramble underneath. It'll stay. Well, let's wait for the call. It'll stay with the Tornado. Allison Curtin firing. 4 points for Allison Curtin. Pendergrass. Pacheco down low. And Megan Pacheco. Talk about instant offense. She has it. 14 points in the quarter. She only played about 16 minutes. That was in the quarterfinals. Underneath, Allison Curtin again.
Again, you give Allison Curtin some room to get to the basket, and she'll use it. Very athletic. You see her quickness there. You also see the moves with her body.
Well, you talk about a track meet, 26 points already, and we're barely halfway through the first quarter. 16-10. Taylorville the lead. Galesburg the ball. Watson setting up the offense. Pendergrass. You see that 2-3 zone. The inside points telling the story for Taylorville. Pendergrass with the good fake. Good dish underneath Larson. And the sophomore, Sarah Larson, averaging 10 a game, gets her first plus the foul.
You want to get the ball into the post. You penetrate on the inside, bring the defense to you, then kick it right out to the post. She was waiting there. Nice move to the basket. Keeps it up high. Larson does a very nice job in there.
They give the foul to Alexis Gibbons. And just like that, it's a 3-point ball game. And again, the near takeaway underneath. Gibbons couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Maxwell missing the rebound. Here we go again. Pendergrass. Trying to feed low into the post. Last touched by Taylorville. There's a good look at Erin Maxwell again. She's the only senior starter. Evan Massey, 19 years at Galesburg, and the 3 is good by Molly Watson.
Molly so far not having a problem today, doing a very nice job. Taylorsville leaving her open.
All tied at 16. Coming up to the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Weber and leans in and draws the foul.
Foul on 34-32, Melanie Pendergrass.
Pendergrass with the foul. It's her first. And here is Weber with 2 attempts. Weber, 57% from the line. Left hands it in. 3 points now for Laura Weber. And Tornado out in front again by 1. Now 2. But a lane violation is called. Leonard Sanford, the official, called the lane violation, so that last free throw is waved off, and the Tornado leads by 1. There you see Carol Wilson. Went to Western Illinois and Illinois College. Been coaching for 3 years at Taylorville. 3 very successful ones. Gallion up. Missing everything. Underneath, Allison Curtin comes down with the rebound. Again, the break the other way. 3 on 2. Suzanne Curtin. And Givens had the ball knocked out of her hands.
Galesburg recovered really well, getting back on the transition to stop Taylorville from that fast break.
Givens over Sarah Larson. Good turnaround move. Alexis Givens has got 4. Again, the full court pressure, no problem for Watson.
And Watson is able to dribble out of it. A lot of teams we saw yesterday were trying to pass out of it and were holding the basketball, bringing the defense to them, but Watson is quick on her feet.
Pendergrass from 3. Melanie Pendergrass, 40% three-point shooter, breaks into the scoring column. Tied at 19. Beautiful dish underneath. Weber to Allison Curtin. And back we go the other way. Don't blink, folks. Now they'll set up the offense for Galesburg. Under a minute to go. 21-19. Taylorville with the lead. Galesburg the ball. Feeding inside to Larson.
Larson has a very nice turnaround. She's going to get the basketball, turn around, and go right up with it. Doesn't give any ball fakes. Just goes very strong to the basket.
Weber underneath to Curtin, but Curtin will be called for the travel. Laura Weber doesn't get as much ink as Molly Watson, but boy, she is a point guard who can see the floor and make things happen for her team.
Well, her height gives her a really good advantage at seeing the floor. She's averaging about 6 assists a game.
Taylorville still doing the job with inside points, 14 of them out of a total of 21. Now the half-court trap almost taken away by Weber. Ball is still in contention. Out of bounds, and very quickly, no doubt about it, Pamela Young right in front of us calls it Galesburg ball. 28 seconds to go here in the first. Jessica Thompson will check back in for the Silver Streaks. Sarah Larson goes out with 5. You're starting to think maybe the last team with the ball is going to win this thing?
That's what it's starting to look like. Both teams are doing a nice job with the press, and they're setting up their offense and attacking the basket, which is a lot different than the teams we saw yesterday.
Pendergrass again, not from 3 this time. Did she make it? And Pacheco. Pacheco didn't know how much time she had. Still underneath. Pendergrass inside. Pendergrass still fighting. And this first quarter is going to come to an end. Will it count? No, it was waved off. 3-quarter shot. Allison Curtin firing it up from half court. Well, we've seen just about everything else. So we'll take a breath, show you some commercials. We'll be back. Second quarter action tied at 21 after 1. Well, this shot didn't count as we ended the first quarter, but it's worth a look anyway. Watch Allison Curtin just failing to beat the buzzer.
One thing that you have seen is that this Taylorville team is very creative in getting to the basket. Allison Curtin doesn't just flicks it and it makes it in. I bet you she's practiced that shot many times.
Back to live action. Angie Gallion for Galesburg. Here's Molly Watson. We take a look at the field goal situation. Both teams shooting extremely well.
It's a pretty good clip.
21 all. Mike Liederman, Yvonne Simmons, Dave Turner, our Sports Channel crew, and the truck out here at Redbird Arena. Big IHSA day. We've got 3 games for you. The 2 semifinals in the girls AA and the finals tonight. One of these 2 teams will be there. Here's Sarah Larson trying to go around Alexis Givens. Not there. Watson again cranks. Long rebound. Look at Allison Curtin in the hustle.
Allison Curtin.
10 points for Allison Curtin, and the Taylorville crowd is going nuts. Very quickly, look at Watson go through everybody in purple. And she gets fouled underneath.
And Watson, although she's about 5'3", she's not intimidated to go inside and take the shot up. She's been on the free throw line a lot. She uses that as a part of her game. Penetration is key for her. Here she shows a little bit of hesitation. She knows she's going to get the attempt to block, so she just goes straight up with it.
Fouls on Erin Maxwell, her first. Molly now with 7, making her first free throw of the morning. Still morning, right? Yep.
Molly actually leads the team in free throw attempts, so you see that's a part of her game right there, to penetrate and usually get the foul called on her. Or when she's shooting from the three-point line, people rushing out to her.
And again, the press, and watch Laura Weber come through. Both teams are very patient offensively against the press. Gibbons looks at the 3. Now they set it up inside, and the foul. But before the foul, we get a traveling call going against Maxwell.
There's a screen across the floor. Curtin screened Maxwell. She came over. She was trying to get a little better positioning once she got the basketball to get her shot off, and they called steps on her.
Now they set up the three-quarter court trap. Does Taylorville? No problems for Galesburg. And back into the hands of Molly Watson. Galligan feeding the post low. And Larson having a problem, but draws the foul.
What Taylorville is going to have to recognize in this offense for Galesburg, if Galligan gets the ball on the baseline there, you're going to have to let her penetrate. She's not going to take the shot. You take a look at it here. She's going to look for the entry. They double, triple down there, and Allison Curtin doesn't happen to get the foul, but you got to realize with Galligan, you got to look at the personnel. She's not going to take the shot. Give her the room to penetrate.
Well, they charged Allison Curtin with the foul. That's 2 on her as Larson turns around and scores her 7th point. And 2 fouls on Allison Curtin. Again, she had a foul problem in the quarterfinal. Didn't play more than half the game. But it could be a lot more serious here for Taylorville. Meanwhile, Alexis Gibbons gets her 3rd bucket. Back we go with the Silver Streaks. Streaking. Pendergrass underneath. And again, the battle. There's Galligan in there, but Angie is called for a travel.
And that initial entry pass into the post, it was a nice look. The only thing post people have to realize when you're on that block, you're not glued to the block. Step to the pass or step to the basket and let that pass lead you.
Suzanne Curtin having a problem, throwing it away, and underneath Larson. Missing it, but she is fouled by Suzanne.
And what Molly Larson actually did is she tried to stop Suzanne Curtin from catching up to her teammate. So that's probably why they're going to give the call to her, because she tried to block out Suzanne Curtin.
Foul against the offense, and now Molly Watson's got 2. So both of the key people are in foul trouble. Now we're going to get a call here because Curtin tried to run the baseline, and you can't unless the ball comes after a basket. After a violation, you have to stay put. So the ball is a turnover. And Galesburg will inbound underneath its own basket. Out comes Thompson. In comes Pacheco. For the Streaks, Watson. Short on the 3. Allison Curtin the rebound. Looking long for sister Suzanne, but incomplete right there. Taylorville running off the fast break. 13 breaks so far to only 2 for Galesburg. 7 turnovers, too, for the Tornado. And here comes Molly Watson. There's a turnover situation with 6 points off the turnovers. Again, the pressure defense. Another turnover forced by Taylorville. Allison Curtin. Maxwell fires it up. Suzanne Curtin. Big boards underneath for the Tornado. And Allison Curtin draws the foul. 3 attempts. So a couple of putbacks. Good attempts for Taylorville against Galesburg. We talked about them being more aggressive on the offensive boards, Yvonne, and so far they certainly are.
And Taylorville is averaging 39 rebounds a game, and yesterday in the game they had 12 offensive rebounds. All their players, except for the point guard, go to the boards, and their point guard even, which is Laura Weber, she's 5'9", so she can also go to the boards. So they do a really nice job at making everybody attack the basket, get second and third opportunities.
All tied at 25. So a dozen for Allison Curtin. (26-25), Taylorville with the lead. Well, a rare lull as one team actually sets up its offense.
And that's, I think, exactly what they're trying to do is lull Taylorville to sleep, make them move a little bit slowly, and keep on passing the basketball. And there they got the
missing
steal.
with the steal. Pendergrass misses the three, but comes back and makes the steal. Now she's got 5. 27-26 for the Silver Streaks. Streaking though is Allison Curtin.
And that is a big-time move there. Standing flat-footed for Galesburg. Curtin just goes right by everybody.
Pendergrass breaking the other way, and we get a foul underneath. It looks like number 13, Misty Enlow, who'd just come in, picks up her first.
The keys for both of these ball clubs is who's going to step up and stop the penetration. Both of the teams have been penetrating in the zone. And you take a look at here, Allison Curtin's just on a full head of steam. Nobody really comes over and puts up a charge to stop her at all. Don't try and get the offensive charge. She just goes right by him.
It'll just go the other way. Pendergrass misses her first free throw attempt. This is almost like a Paul Westhead offense. If the other team scores, well, you just throw it down the other end of the floor for you. Suzanne Curtin the rebound off the double miss on the free throw line by Pendergrass.
She was quite a ways out there.
Suzanne Curtin gets her first points, and they are big ones. And underneath, the ball out of bounds, last touch by Galesburg. We've got 4 minutes, 1 second to go. The Tornado of Taylorville, a 4-point lead, 31-27. We'll take a timeout here, send it. Well, you know there was a run on on face paint over there down in Galesburg. Oh, the fans are into this one. What a frenetic pace. 4 minutes, 1 second left to go in the first half. Taylorville in purple with the ball has opened up the biggest lead of the game, 4 points, but that's about as safe as the last pork chop in the old boarding house. The way these two teams are going at it, Allison Curtin now draws the foul from Pacheco.
Allison Curtin will win that battle there. Pacheco is guarding her out in that perimeter. Pacheco, although she is pretty quick for her size, she's not going to be able to stop Curtin.
Second personal on Pacheco, and fouls are starting to become an issue here. Also told you Molly Watson has 2. Taylorville's fast break has really made them.
A good strategy for Galesburg right now. Pacheco is playing Curtin. She could really try and muscle her, bump her a little bit, but right now she's got an open field there, Curtin does, to dribble the basketball and penetrate.
Man defense for Galesburg. We get a whistle underneath, off the ball. And let's see what this one's all about.
As you know, when you play post on the inside, there's a lot of physicalness on the inside and there in the paint.
For Sherwood, who is a bench player, she is charged with her second foul. And here is Misty Enlow, 5'7" junior, 59% from the line. Averages about 3 points a ball game, as you see. First point today for Enlow.
And Coach Carol Wilson says that Enlow is their garbage player, so very physical on the inside. He's taking a look, trying to get her shots open, and here she gets the foul.
And there's Allison Curtin with her 8th rebound. She's also got 13 points, 2 steals, and 2 assists so far. Let's go over to Eric Collins.
Mike, I don't know if you're as impressed with this crowd as I am, but Taylorville, they're telling me they're doing this all year long. The boys team was just 3-22 this season, so everyone kind of globbed onto the girls team. They're undefeated, and they came all the way down here in mass.
And that's certainly one of the reasons why they've glued to them, because they have an outside shooting, they go inside, they play good defense, and it's up-tempo. What a basketball game, what a team to watch.
Laurel Weber with the basket for Taylorville, and back comes Pendergrass. Suzanne Curtin may have gotten a piece of it. Pacheco lays it up. And for Pacheco, that's her 3rd bucket. 34-29, 3:05 to go. As you see the clock winding down to that, here is Laurel Weber, the lefty. Allison Curtin, the offensive glass. And she's tied up, and a little bit of extracurriculars down there with Sarah Larson, and Allison doesn't like it.
You don't find that many tough people when you're playing high school basketball, but when you get them, they're pretty tough here as Curtin goes up to try and get the offensive rebound. Galesburg is fighting just as hard for that, and then they're going to throw Nelson to the ground. Got to hang on for dear life. Referee blew the whistle. Got to just let go of the basketball.
Well, it's a held ball, so possession arrow stays with Taylorville. Several substitutions come in now for Galesburg as Taylorville runs the out-of-bounds play.
And they'll do that a lot of times in high school. You're getting a little bit too hot under the collar, they'll take you out and sit you down for a little bit.
Gibbons the turnaround missing. Underneath Thompson for Galesburg. Under 3 minutes to go here. Down it goes. Sarah Larson couldn't finish. Enlow and Larson. And we get another held ball. This time it'll stay in the possession of Galesburg. That was a real quick whistle, I'm sure, because the officials wanted to make sure that tempers don't get too out of hand right here.
Exactly. You always want to keep the control. Officials don't want to let the players run up anything here. Again, Molly looking up the floor. Larson has an easy shot here. She misses it. And then you have, again, the rebounding flash here.
Meanwhile, a steal by Allison Curtin, but we get a whistle.
And Taylorville and also Coach Wilson doesn't like the last two calls that have been called on Taylorville.
So the violation on Taylorville, and back it goes to Galesburg. They trail by 5. 2:35 to go. You see the turnovers as Molly Watson off the glass. Watson, who'd been quiet for a while, now has 10. Brings her team within 3. Taylorville handling the press nicely. Suzanne Curtin here in the forecourt. End-to-end action since the opening tip. Gibbons the turnaround missing. Underneath Suzanne Curtin and taken away by Galesburg. Here's Watson. This horse race continues. Pendergrass. Underneath Gallion. A lot of bumping and grinding right here. And Thompson had a couple of attempts, but draws the foul underneath. It looked like Enlow.
And this is what is going to be the difference in this ball game. One, to stop the penetration and to slow down the transition a little bit, and the other is to get the rebounding. Here, Galesburg gets several attempts at the basket. They're going up strong for it. You know eventually the foul is going to come with the attempt for the block. And Galesburg keeps on trying, keeps their head up, keeps the ball up. And now they're finding themselves in a very good position. The thing for Galesburg also, they have a little bit deeper bench. They're bringing in post players, so they're having fresh bodies.
Third point for Jessica Thompson. 2 free throws brings her team within 1. 34-33. There's the clock. Under 2 minutes to go. This only the first half. Weber. This is Gibbons. Man-to-man defense in the half court. Curtin again. Allison, 15 points.
You set screens for Allison Curtin and get her free. She'll get the shot.
And Allison Curtin, despite the 2 fouls, leading the press here. And for the first time, it seems to be bothering Galesburg. Just got it across to Watson.
And that is because Watson did not take up the basketball, but there she gets herself open.
Look at the pull-up. Molly Watson, the pull-up from 12 feet. She's got 12 points.
She didn't handle the basketball that time, and that's why they had a little bit of problem running up the floor.
Good point. Feeding the post, it's Allison Curtin.
She is unstoppable when she gets the basketball. It doesn't matter if her back is to the basket. She knows how to create for herself.
Under a minute, good look inside. Pendergrass to Thompson and the foul.
And that's exactly how your post runs the lane. You break the press. You get the ball in the wing. Your post gives it to you. You get it right back. Very nicely done by Galesburg. Looks so easy.
Erin Maxwell with her second foul. And here is Thompson, who just converted 2 free throws, looking for the 3-point play. She's got 6 points this quarter. That'll make it 5. And we're tied at 38. Under a minute to go. Inside, Allison Curtin and the foul. Oh, is she on fire?
And she's got the ups too, has a very nice vertical leap. She can get the basketball, turn around, go up very strong, use her height there. So you take a look at it here, the entry pass. She goes right back up with it after she turns around and squares herself to the basket. No one's going to out-jump her.
Foul is on Sarah Larson, her first. Allison Curtin has taken 10 shots, made 9 of them.
Very athletic, as you see, an athletic play there.
Missing there. Up it comes, Pendergrass. Melanie Pendergrass has got 7. Tied at 40. That was a 2. Here's Weber. Missing with the right hand.
And
followed up by Allison.
Allison Curtin knows around the basket, keeps her head up, follows the ball. As you see, Galesburg, nice job again. The post running, and they're getting the offensive glass.
Thompson missing, but draws the foul with 16.3 to go. As soon as the ball goes through the net, the other team goes the other way.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. One thing they do try and teach the post players, when the ball goes in for the other team, you're going to get your hands up, get the ball right back out quickly so you can start up the floor. Galesburg does a nice job of that. You see there again the second attempt, and they're on the free throw line again.
But that foul was against Allison Curtin. That is her 3rd. And Lacey McFarland comes in very quickly for the last 16.3.
And that could make the difference, although there's only 16 seconds left in this half.
Well, Curtin had 3 fouls in the first half in the quarterfinal, then quickly fouled out in the second.
Exactly, and they're going to need her because Curtin has been keeping Taylorville in the ball game right now.
42-40. Taylorville the lead in the ball. Final seconds. Here's McFarland. Just came in. Givens tied up with 1.7 to go. Pendergrass ties her up. Possession arrow to Taylorville, and very quickly we're going to have Danielle Murfin come in for Galesburg just to defend on this out of bounds. Molly Watson comes out, get the taller player in to guard Suzanne Curtin, who's 5'9". Now they won't guard the ball. See what they can do on the set out of bounds play. Great defense by Galesburg. Underneath, turnover. It'll go to the Silver Streaks with .8. Not over yet, folks. Still plenty of time for a length of the court pass. Not this time. All right. The first half is over. Evan Massey and his Galesburg Silver Streaks find themselves down 42-40, a 2-point deficit to Taylorville. There's the Taylorville crowd. And this has been one incredible time. Well, you take a look at the action, and 42-40 the score. Let's go to Eric Collins.
Mike, we're here with Carol Wilson, head coach with Taylorville. What are you going to say to your guys at your team at halftime? Is just going to be a time to relax?
Oh, I think the one thing we got to work on is getting back and stopping our press isn't getting back and stopping them from getting layups. So we can take care of that. We'll be okay.
What about any worries with Allison Curtin picking up her 3rd foul in the closing seconds of the second quarter?
No, that's not a problem. She's got there before. It happened yesterday. We'll be okay.
Obviously, the confidence of a coach who's got an undefeated team. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. And you know, Carol Wilson has said she doesn't worry about the foul situation, but yesterday, Allison Curtin fouled out. She can't afford to have that happen today. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the Sports Channel Report Studios. I'm Darrell Joyner, along with Danny Tyler, the Olympian, and also former high school hoopster. She is joining us all day today. And Taylorville and Galesburg, 2 Greyhounds going at it up and down. This seems to be the Curtin and Watson show.
Oh, yeah. You watch this Allison Curtin. She plays not like a girl. You know how people say that? She plays like a guy. She's tough. She's moving. She's fluid. She's tough. Again, how tough is she? Right now, she has 21 points, 10 of 11 from the floor, 3 fouls, and I think one of the keys in Galesburg getting back in this game, early on they saw a lot of pressure by Taylorsville, but again, Galesburg came back with Watson hitting that 3 from outside. They were hitting the outside shot that brought him back, and they tied it at 19 all, although they're trailing right now 42-20. That outside game, as well as their inside rebounding and the second chance points, got them back in this ball game.
Oh, yeah, and if they're going to be effective, they've really, really got to stop Allison Curtin. They've got to be tough. They've got to stop her. They have to put up a pretty big press because the game is a really up-tempo game right now, and they got to hold it together and hopefully hold it out to make it to that
championship game.
You got it, Curtin. She's been doing it all, breaking that press as well as getting a lot of rebounds for her respective club. Now, coming up after the game you're watching right now, we've got Marshall and Loyola going at it later on today. That should be a slam jam affair. That will be at 12:45, followed by the championship game later tonight at 8:30. Keep it right here on Sports Channel. Taylorville leading right now 42-40. We've got much more coming your way. Well, it's time for the second half with Taylorville leading 42-40 over Galesburg. So let's head back down to Redbird Arena to Mike Liederman and Yvonne Simmons.
Well, let's check with the highlights. There were plenty of them, and we'll pick them up right away, Yvonne. First of all, with Watson of Galesburg.
Molly Watson heating up in this game, has 12 points. She was 2 of 5 from the three-point line there. You take a look at one of those.
And watch the steal here by Taylorville. Laura Weber, and gets it to Allison Curtin.
Curtin really has been the difference for Taylorville in the ball game, getting some easy layups off the defensive steals.
Curtin 10 of 11 from the field, mostly inside.
Very creative once she gets to the basketball and finding the basket.
Oh, that was just the first quarter. Watch the second quarter here as Pendergrass misses.
Second effort,
save, yeah.
Second effort by Galesburg. Pendergrass does a nice job of getting her rebound.
And if you blink, you miss this. Allison Curtin through everybody.
Very nice move again. We're talking about somebody that creates shots for herself. Taylorville needs a little more of that in this ball game.
Well, you look at the Ameritech statistics for the first half. Nearly 60% from the field for Taylorville. Much of that on the fast break. Meanwhile, let's go to Eric Collins, and he's got Evan Massey with him.
Right, Mike, we do have Evan Massey right here. Evan, what did you say to your team at halftime? What do you, after they played in the first half, what do you need to work on?
Well, I thought there were some times, especially in the half-court offense, where we didn't really move the ball very well. We turned it over. What we need to be able to do is take a little bit better care of the ball. Maybe not so much to prevent turnovers, but to get a little better shots. And the other is defensively. We thought we did a good job in the first quarter, half-court defense. In the second quarter, we kind of fell apart a little.
Well, Evan, wish you all the best of luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Mike, we'll toss it back to you for the second half. Mike.
All right, we're all going to take a deep breath as we regroup. We'll be back for the second half. Right now, it's Taylorville by 2.
Whether you win or lose, but don't come in the locker room after the game and say, gee, I wish I would have tried harder. Leave it all out on the floor.
For second half action, and nicknames, the Tornadoes and the Silver Streaks, they imply speed action. Well, we've had it all here in the first half, and Melanie Pendergrass taking it out of bounds for Galesburg right in front of us. So we are underway. Galesburg trailing by 2. Starting lineups in for both teams. Here is Pendergrass looking for that 3. Fought for underneath by Larson. Here's Molly Watson firing up a lefty. Molly Watson changing hands. You often see players change hands, but not from that distance. Molly Watson with a great effort, 14 points.
Again, we talked about her not being afraid of when she penetrates to put the ball up.
Near steal right over here by Jessica Thompson, but yes, says the official, last touch by Taylorville, so a turnover.
Galesburg is very smart when they're denying the next pass. They keep their outside hands, and if they do happen to steal it or they miss the steal, they're able to recover. Good job by not overplaying that and causing the steal and the eventual, they're getting the basketball for Galesburg.
Half-court offense now for Galesburg with Larson on the high post, Thompson on low, and here Melanie for 3. Rebound Weber. Taylorville streaks the other way against the Streaks. Tipped out of bounds. They say it will be Galesburg ball. But now Pamela Young called it for Galesburg, and now the back official Leonard Sanford said no, last touch by the Streaks. So Taylorville, boy, they haven't scored in nearly a minute.
Surprising.
Almost a 5-second count, but almost doesn't count.
And it seems like Galesburg has picked up their intensity on defense just another notch in order to try and stop this Taylorville team from running on them.
Lefty Weber feeding inside to the post. Allison Curtin right where she left off has 23. Remember, she's got 3 fouls. Molly Watson has 2 as Galesburg throws the ball away.
And that's exactly what height can do for you. For Taylorville, they're trying to double team Molly Watson. She's having to throw over the taller opponent, and she threw the ball away.
Watson at 5'4", headed for Doug Bruno and the DePaul Blue Demons women's team. Boy, what a year they've had. hoping for a tournament bid. Inside Givens. And Gallion trying to save the ball, but can't do it. Angie Gallion, number 40. You see her, a senior at 5'8". So Taylorville with the 2-point lead has the ball underneath its own basket. Just under the 5-second count. You know who. Allison Curtin missing this time. Good defense, but the follow. Missing again. That was her sister Suzanne.
And Taylorville was leading the rebounding category right now after the first half for this game.
And Allison Curtin, risky move with 2 fouls, but tying up Molly Watson and getting the jump ball, and possession arrow goes back to Taylorville. Check it, 3 fouls, of course, for Allison Curtin. You notice about her, Yvonne, she doesn't pull back.
Not at all.
You know, you're only allowed 5 fouls in this game. Weber takes the long 2.
Weber in the triple threat there, not sure what she's going to do, whether penetrate or shoot or pass it off. She plays with it a little bit and then takes a shot.
Watson against the double team again, no problem. And there's the trap, some problem. There's Curtin again.
She's got to be smart because out there in the open, refs are going to be watching her.
Givens the rebound underneath. Here is Weber. Laura Weber, they call her the point guard, on the drive and picks up the foul. The blocking foul will go against Galesburg. Looks like Larson underneath.
And that really is where Weber is at her best. You take a look at it here, the replay. She's penetrating, and she'll either dish it off or take it herself. Another player that creates things for herself. That time she decides to take it, does get the foul, but you can also look for her to dump it into the post.
Second foul on Sarah Larson. And here is Laura Weber. Shooting, as we said, 57% from the line. Looking for point number 8. There's a look at Molly Watson. Behind her, Carol Wilson, the coach for Taylorville. 1 out of 2 for Weber. The lead is now 5. That's the largest of the game for Taylorville. Substitutes coming in for Galesburg at the next whistle. There for here's Pendergrass, top of the key for 3. And a backcourt foul, Jessica Thompson on Suzanne Curtin. Not a good foul for Thompson. One of the rare, obvious mistakes we've seen these teams make. Bad foul to make.
It could have been a foul of frustration, but also they know that Taylorville is on the run once they get the defensive rebound. So she could have been trying to slow Taylorville up, and then she just got caught with the foul.
Gallion and Thompson go out. Sherwood and Pacheco come in for Galesburg. Here is Laura Weber. Taylorville, the 5-point lead coming up to the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. We've got another semifinal to go. They feed inside to Givens.
Really working well in their offense. Taylorville now, once they're getting the ball, taking a look on the inside and using the triangle play there. Nice play, nice patience.
8 points for Alexis Givens. The lead builds to 7. And here's Watson setting up the offense.
You got to look for Pacheco. She's coming up and flashing a little bit. You got to look for her to take those shots. Pass her the basketball.
Watson, Larson the follow. 9 points for Sarah Larson as Watson came in and switched hands, went up left, and Larson put in the rebound. Taylorville by 5. Underneath, feeding inside, and a whistle. And the foul as Allison Curtin goes down.
The replay here, again, we're talking about Taylorville looking on the inside here. A nice lead pass, but it really allowed the defense to come over. And Allison did not step to the basketball, but Galesburg got the call.
3rd foul on Sarah Larson. We've got a timeout right now with the score. The Tornado 49, Silver Streak 44. Welcome back to Redbird Arena. Let's check in with Eric Collins.
Thanks, Mike. We're over here with Frank Matucci. Frank's the head coach over at Stevenson for the girls basketball team. They won state last year. Actually, coincidentally, last time that Galesburg lost was to his Stevenson club. Frank, how do you beat Galesburg?
Well, number one, you have to have a veteran team, a senior-oriented team like we did last year that could play defense. You got to slow the game down on it. You got to slow the pace. I remember in last year's ball game, it was real tight at half, and at halftime we decided to junk all the full court pressure, and we just played half court man or a little bit of boxing one on Watson, and it slowed them down. And then on offense, we took our time and made them play some man, and we thought we could exploit some of the matchups with Catchings and Coleman, and we ended up winning, I think, by 15, 18 points, something like that. But they're a terrific team. I have a lot of respect for Watson. He's a heck of a player.
Thanks, Frank, for talking to us. Now we'll send it back over to Mike Lederman. Mike.
All right, thanks, Frank Matucci.
And that is, I'm sorry, that is some good advice. I'll tell you, though, Taylorville, I don't think is going to slow down the game too much.
No, we don't see it here. As Watson missed a long three. 5-point lead on the ball for Taylorville. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Second semi to follow, and boy, that's going to be something. Marshall against Loyola Academy as the foul away from the ball will go against Taylorville. And we get the whistle unless there's a lane violation. Missed it. Yes, it was. No foul shown. No foul taken. Again, a 5-point deficit for Galesburg. The Streaks with the ball. Megan Pacheco, the freshman. Watson looks at the three from NBA range. Here's Pacheco quickly inside Thompson. Thompson again. Rebound underneath Weber. Thompson flashed into the post but couldn't convert two comparatively easy shots. Here's Weber coast to coast. Allison Curtin. Underneath Suzanne Curtin goes up right-handed. Here's Allison, has it knocked away. And all alone, Pendergrass. What a flurry. Galesburg won that round. Gibbons in the high post. Allison Curtin again with 3 fouls. Suzanne Curtin. Gibbons from 15. Allison Curtin, the offensive board. Again, the pile. Boy, Allison Curtin keeps battling in there at 5'9". It'll be a held ball. Possession arrow stays with Taylorville. Allison Curtin playing with absolute enthusiasm and guts.
And for Taylorville, none of their starters are over 5'10", so rebounding really is about work ethic. And you take a look at it here, everybody trying to get the basketball. The ball goes on the floor. Again, we're talking about players diving everywhere, so it's a work ethic for Taylorville. They do a nice job with not a lot of size.
Larson in, Pacheco out for Galesburg. Here's Taylorville's Gibbons with the ball. Feeding Allison inside. She covered every inch of the rim.
Exactly, gets the ball to roll. She does a really nice job also of posting herself up.
Pendergrass. Out of bounds, last touch by Galesburg. 51-46. 5-point lead for Taylorville. Coming up to the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter. Winner, of course, plays tonight in the final against either Marshall or Loyola. Will there be any adrenaline left? Allison Curtin again, and she is hacked by Galliot. First foul on Angie.
You want to talk about a go-to player here, somebody who can set themselves up no matter where they are on the floor. And they're going to call the foul on Allison Curtin.
Taylorville bench. Carol Wilson is hot. Maybe we can get another look at that. And she's got to send Misty Enlow in. Let's see what happens here. Allison Curtin does, in fact, have her 4th foul. Here she is.
They want to say that she curled her arm around a little bit. I guess that's what they're trying to call it on. But, you know, the Galesburg player right there raised her hand, knew she was going to get called on the foul, but they give it to Allison Curtin. Allison Curtin has 4 right now, just got to shrug it off.
Now she's got to sit down, so Enlow is in. And here is Galesburg's chance.
She is very upset on the sideline there. Just got to shrug it off and keep playing the game.
Watson missing. Thompson the putback and the foul. Well, it didn't take long. Jessica Thompson, who had a couple of close-in misses, converts this and the foul.
And here's where the momentum swings a little bit. Curtin out of the ball game. Galesburg comes up with a big bucket on the putback here. It's a nice putback, a very strong putback, but a little bit of momentum change. 142 with Allison Curtin out on the sidelines.
3-point play. It's now a 2-point ball game.
So obviously Taylorsville is going to have to find somebody else to step it up. Allison Curtin has been keeping them in the ball game. They have to go to somebody else. They're a young squad.
My vote, from what we've seen, will have to be number 30, Laura Weber.
Exactly. She has a lot of responsibility. Erin Maxwell is going to have to get herself open for some threes also.
A minute 15 to go. There's Weber again. Lefty fires.
And there goes their offensive rebounding also.
Here's Watson as we come up to the 1-minute mark. Watson may have gotten away with a palming violation there, and three-pointer by Pendergrass misses.
And how huge would that shot have been if Pendergrass would have made that? Would have sent this place on fire.
Looking for the three, Suzanne Curtin.
Taylorville has to take their time. Do not rush their shots. There's plenty of time. Get good looks at the basket.
Here comes Watson. 40 seconds to go, third quarter. 2-point ball game. Watson right in front of her coach. Here's Molly coming through. Doesn't get the roll, but Larson back doesn't get it. Still loose. Still loose. Held ball. It'll stay in the possession of Galesburg. Scrapping underneath Yvonne.
Both teams are pretty scrappy. There's been a lot of loose balls right underneath the basket. Got to grab those rebounds with both hands.
23 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pendergrass for the lead.
She has improved her shot on this year. The last month she's been red hot from three-point range. A big shot.
52-51. Galesburg with its first lead in quite some time. And it's happened after Allison Curtin has gone to the bench with 4 fouls. At the buzzer, Weber doesn't get it. The Galesburg fans have a chance to roar right now on a 6-0 run. They lead it by 1. Fourth quarter coming up. I think you'll stick around.
I don't think he's ever coming home.
Here's one, Mommy. Non-smoker likes children's top breadwinner.
Maybe you could use one.
Taylorville and Galesburg. Taylorville led most of the third quarter. Then, after Allison Curtin of Taylorville picked up her 4th foul, a 6-0 run since the 2-minute mark has taken Galesburg to the lead by 1. Turning around, Givens. Galesburg on the run again. Gallion, Givens in front of her. 3-point shooter here is Pendergrass. And here is the point guard, Molly Watson. Has kept a steady rudder on this team throughout a very hectic pace. They look inside to the post. Larson at 5'10", and Givens. But before the foul is traveling called on Larson.
They're going to give their steps, but I really like the patience of Galesburg at moving the basketball and looking at their options and then looking inside.
Good long look down court. Easily breaks the press for Taylorville. Taylorville with the ball down 1. This is Enlow.
And the offensive intensity, I think, has gone down for Taylorville. They're looking for somebody to go to. They're not sure who that person is now that Allison is sitting on the bench.
Well, Enlow turned the ball over, and here once again,
We'll have to see how long Coach Wilson keeps her out of the basketball game. A real gamble right here because she's very aggressive on defense and doesn't show signs of letting up.
You saw the turnover situation. Taylorville with 12 compared to 9 for Galesburg. Pendergrass picked up the dribble. Here's Watson who will shoot that 3. She'll go left and right. Doesn't get either there. Weber the rebound. She's got 2 teammates in front of her. Ill-advised pass to Suzanne Curtin, who could not handle it. Weber probably, Yvonne, should have gotten rid of that ball a little sooner.
She should have, but I really don't think that she was ready to accept the basketball. So Taylorville has to decide now. You're going to have to pull it back and set things up on your offense.
Well, they dodge a bullet and get the ball back offensively. The lone senior Maxwell missing the 3. And here's the scrum again.
We really have some interesting situations here right now. Galesburg hasn't had really tough games in the regular season, so you're going to have to look to Molly Watson to really take control of this ball game. On the other hand, Taylorville has a lot of young players in the ball club. Their point guard is a junior. Galesburg has had reserve players come in and play starting roles this year, so you're really not sure how the waters are tested.
Pacheco is in. Thompson is out for Galesburg. Allison Curtin on the bench with 25 points and 4 personal fouls for Taylorville.
But I think right now Galesburg has the better strategy. They're really trying to stretch the defense out. They're moving the basketball, cross-court passing, swinging it, and going for the penetration there.
Here's Watson again with the banker. Doesn't get it this time. Here's Weber. And Weber turns it over. Larson.
Evan Macy has to be happy with this ball club right now, keeping their composure, going for the throat of Taylorville.
Taylorville hasn't scored since 2 minutes left.
Molly set this,
in the third quarter.
And Molly set this up, trying again to get the basketball going with all their effort. They throw the ball out. Taylorville doesn't. They get the steal. Does a nice job of just getting it back to the inside for the easy high percentage shot.
Well, Carol Wilson has no choice. After an 8-0 run, Allison Curtin is back in the ball game with 4 fouls.
You have to go with your gut feeling as a coach. You know she's a smart player. You're going to hope that she doesn't get a silly foul either on the open court. But Allison still, she plays aggressively.
9-0 run. Suzanne looks inside. Givens missing. Alexis again with the rebound. Can't buy it now. Here's Allison Curtin. Every part of the rim but the net. And Molly Watson dribbles out of trouble for Galesburg. And what a steal right there by Weber. 55-51, Taylorville trailing by 4. They've been outscored. They have not scored in this quarter. They haven't scored since 2 minutes to go in the third. Here's Allison Curtin. And Allison Curtin diving on the floor, knocking the ball away.
That'll make you crazy. Those are the fouls you do not want her to get. But how do you tell a ball player to stop playing their game?
55-51. This is the right to go to the finals of the state championship. Taylorville and Galesburg ranked 2 and 3 in the state polls. Pacheco underneath loses control, loses possession, and loses the ball.
Pacheco wanted to muscle it up herself, and there's where you have to be smart as a post player. You know they're going to double down on you. You don't have anywhere to go. You just kick it back out to your three-point shooters.
4 minutes, 51 seconds to go. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back. The Streaks are on a streak. A look at the Taylorville huddle. Carol Wilson, in her 3rd year as coach, played 90 games, won 82 of them. This certainly the most important one in her career. The team's career, their first final. Galesburg finished 3rd a year ago in the state on a 9-0 run right now. They have taken a 4-point lead. As Taylorville inbounds the ball, Suzanne Curtin, Laura Weber, Erin Maxwell, Allison Curtin, and Alexis Givens. Man-to-man all day long for Galesburg. Allison Curtin. Weber had the shot. Givens, again, another offensive board. Alexis Givens, who had her problems underneath, comes up big right here.
Givens is second on the team in rebounding there. The shot goes up, the second effort. By Givens, she turns around and collects herself a little bit, not square, but she gets the ball up, and now she's a chance for a three-point play.
10 points for Alexis Givens. Rebound, Maxwell. Again, Erin Maxwell. They can't buy it underneath with Allison missing. Once again, it's Maxwell, and what a flurry of offensive rebounds for Taylorville. Nothing went in, but they'll go to the line.
It took a number of attempts at the basket, but everybody again going to get the basketball. Galesburg keeping their hands straight up for most of this, and then finally the foul is called as you see Curtin still being very aggressive on the offensive rebounding. Maxwell has several attempts at it. Finally, she gets the foul called on her.
We neglected to mention earlier that now Sarah Larson for Galesburg has 4. Here is Erin Maxwell. 7 points for the game.
But I think as Allison Curtin has come back in the ball game, you see a little bit of life back in Taylorville. She's really the emotional leader on this team, although Erin Maxwell is the senior.
1 out of 2. Rebound, Allison Curtin, and she is fouled as she goes up.
She looked over at the ref, though. Last time she thought she was going to get a foul on the other team, and it was a foul on her. This time, again, we're talking about somebody being very aggressive on the boards, timing herself to get the offensive rebound. She goes, collects herself, moves a little bit closer inside to get the proper angle on the basketball, or on the with the basket.
Well, Taylorville, which went nearly 7 minutes without scoring, as Allison Curtin. Obviously, that last foul in the 3rd quarter really shook her up. You can see her concentration is not what it was. Missing that one badly. Can she and her team regroup?
But if she's going to be the go-to player that she wants to be, she's going to have to knock those free throws down.
Well, she certainly did right there. 26 points for Allison. We are tied at 55. Coming up to the 4-minute mark. You see the clock. 4th quarter. Remember, another semifinal to come. And all for the same low price. You better believe it. Pendergrass. The defense extends for Taylorville. Here's Molly Watson.
If I'm Molly Watson, I go right at Allison Curtin with the penetration. She's at the top of the zone.
Here's Pendergrass. Remember, there's no shot clock to worry about in high school. Three and a half minutes to go. Longest offensive possession we can safely say of this game. Pendergrass coming down with the ball. Allison Curtin really hassling her. Really bothering her defensively. Now there's Watson.
Got to watch those holes in the zone.
Watson coming through. Allison Curtin reaching in. Watson!
Yeah, they're going to give the double dribble.
No call. They call a discontinued dribble on Molly Watson.
That was the right call because that's exactly what happened. But take a look at it here again. We're attacking the seams of the zone. Watson, although it seemed like a little bit deflected, you couldn't see it there from that angle, but she tried and the double dribble.
Well, the scoreboard put the 2 points on the board, but the officials are telling them to wave it off. It should still be tied. The game at 55 all.
That was the correct call. You could not see it from the angle that the camera had there, but it was the call.
Again, the defensive pressure now. Here is Weber bringing the ball up against Pendergrass. Under 3 minutes to go for a berth in the state finals. Curtin looks into Weber. No call. Curtin to follow. 27 points for Allison Curtin. She's brought her team back to the lead. Watson coming through. Rebound Maxwell. 2-on-1 break here for Taylorville. Thompson's back. Call out Thompson. Jessica Thompson, the foul.
This is where if I'm Galesburg, I got to do a better job at the rebounding. You know Molly Watson is going to take it for penetration and get some shots off, but you got to do a better job rebounding. Here, Taylorville is going to push it back up the floor, so once you haven't gotten the ball, you got to get back there. You got to hang your guards back there and try and stop this transition.
They give the foul to Pendergrass, not Thompson. Melanie's second. Now we've got a timeout here with, all right, 2:28 to go. Taylorville, as we told you, had, if you could say, control of this game. Well, they did have it. They had opened up as much as a 5-point lead midway in the 3rd quarter. Then Allison Curtin, their high scorer, picked up her 4th foul. They had to take her out of the game. Taylorville did not score for nearly 7 minutes. Galesburg going on a 9-0 run to take the lead. Allison Curtin has come back to put her team ahead. That's the Taylorville rooting section. Well, we could probably say that's nearly the entire town of Taylorville. But there were 11,000 people in the town. They sold over 3,000 tickets. There's the game reset, the timeout situation, the possession arrow in favor of Taylorville's Tornadoes. They're ranked 3rd in the state Associated Press poll. Galesburg ranked 2nd. Galesburg here a year ago, finishing 3rd.
No time to panic for either team. Galesburg was doing a nice job at really spreading out the defense of Taylorsville, making the good passes. Molly Watson's penetration wasn't effective the last few times. Galesburg not able to get the rebound for the offensive putbacks. For Taylorville, you have to just try and play smart, a little bit smarter basketball. You're going to have to take your time on offense and make Galesburg play defense on you. You have the looks on the inside with Curtin on the inside, and also with Erin Maxwell, the three-point shot, and Laura does a nice job of her three-point shot and also penetration as well, and dishing it into the post.
28 for Allison Curtin. The lead is 3. Curtin, a junior. Again, 3 juniors on the Taylorville team, 3 seniors on the Galesburg team. Alexis Givens, good rebound.
And that was a nice rebound, but she realized she didn't have the advantage. She saw Curtin coming down the lane. Nice little pass off to her. Big play by Allison Curtin.
The lead back to 5. Alexis Givens hasn't gotten enough credit. She has been a tiger on those offensive boards for Taylorville. Here's Molly Watson coming up to the 2-minute mark. 2-possession game. Pendergrass for 3. Melanie Pendergrass, her 3rd 3. She's got 15. The lead is 2. Curtin has scored the last points, last 5 for Taylorville. Maxwell, great effort underneath by Thompson. Save. Looked up to Gibbons. Thompson. Larson went by her. Sarah Larson could have committed her 5th foul. Alexis Gibbons, a big play, 14 points. A minute 25 to go. It's a 4-point game.
The last time Molly Watson went right at the seams in the middle for the penetration and kicked it right out to Pendergrass. We'll see if they go with the same strategy here as Pendergrass is waiting on the left side of the wing baseline.
Allison, again the steal and the foul.
And that is just gutsy play by a junior, somebody who has done the job the entire year, the go-to player for this Taylorville. She has 4 fouls. She goes for the steal. 4 fouls, goes for the steal here. That's just gutsy play.
Jessica Thompson, the foul. Well, we have a timeout on the floor. 1 minute, 9 seconds to go. It's a 4-point ball game. Stick around. We'll be right back. Taylorville 62, Galesburg 58. The clock at a minute 9. Allison Curtin has brought her team back from disaster. She picked up her 4th foul. They had to sit her down. Galesburg went on a run. Allison Curtin is back. She has scored the last 5 points, and her team now leads by 4. Now Suzanne Curtin will go to the line.
And I do believe that Taylorville is a balanced team. It takes everybody for this basketball team to win. But I tell you what, there is not a mentality on that floor that is like Allison Curtin. She's a big-time player.
Suzanne Curtin's first trip to the line. She's the sophomore. Allison, the older sister. There is Allison. Big point from Suzanne. It's her 4th. Again, it's Alexis Gibbons on the offensive boards. And we get a whistle in the lane. And it's going to go against Galesburg.
Coach Wilson has said that Alexis Gibbons is somebody that does a lot of the little things and does them well for this Taylorville club. Sometimes she gets overlooked.
Well, there is Allison Curtin. She is our Wendy's player of the game. No question about that. 31 points. You can see her field goal percentage, 14 for 22. She had 18 rebounds. What else can she do?
Play defense is what she can do. She gets a lot of steals for this Taylorville club.
Jessica Thompson, the last foul, is the miss.
And then she gets what a game for her. She has brought this team back.
Under a minute to go. 7-point lead. Allison Curtin, 33 points. Those last 2, unbelievable. Watson cranks it from 3. Tries to save it, and does. Apparently, yes. Good play, Watson, knocking it off Weber. Here's Molly Watson. She's not going to quit.
Substitute for Galesburg, 54, Sarah Larson.
Sarah Larson with her 4 fouls comes back in. Jessica Thompson sits down with 10 points. Larson, the 5'11 sophomore. Here's Watson. She'll fire it again.
Range. She was setting herself up to try and take that shot, and she definitely has the range from there.
17 points for Molly Watson. That was close to a 25-footer. And now we are in a 2-possession situation, 37.1 to go. Look how far behind the line she is, Yvonne.
That takes a lot of leg strength, and she does it there. She was trying to set that up for her. As soon as the ball went out, she came from the weak side, came over to get the basketball, set herself up like she was going to penetrate. Defense didn't come over to her, didn't try and block the shot. Allison Curtin on her, so she's going to attempt that shot and does a nice job.
And hit nothing but net, as they say. Somebody was asking, what does Doug Bruno and DePaul with that powerful program, seeing a 5'4" guard? Well, you saw it right there. In a nutshell, the save of keeping the ball from going out of bounds. Then she comes back and hits a 25-foot three-pointer. Carol Wilson, the Taylorville huddle. The Taylorville fans.
And there's 37 seconds left in this ball game, so it's a lot of time. Both of these teams score a lot. Steals can happen in their full court press. So it's whoever's smartest with the basketball. Although, if you were Taylorville, you have the lead right now. You want to hold on to it a little bit. Because Galesburg is a very smart team. They have 2 3-point weapons in Pendergrass, and obviously you saw Molly Watson.
And you saw the graphic, what has happened in this game since Allison Curtin came back. There's the Taylorville Dr. Seuss fan club. Remember, we'll have the 3-point shootout. Then we'll have another semifinal, Marshall and Loyola. Oh, yeah, we'll have the final tonight as well. And very quickly, Gallion with the foul, and Allison Curtin will go to the line.
Now, these are very big free throws. You're 1-1 right here, so obviously you got to make the first one. Only down by 4, 2 possessions.
That was the 10th foul of the half, so it should be a bonus situation. Allison Curtin will shoot 2. And again, if there's a weak link, it's a free throw shooting. And I didn't even get a chance to finish that. Where she drained it, only hits about 60%. 34 points.
I definitely think she has refocused from when she was on the bench, almost in tears.
Curtin going after the ball, can't quite save it here. As best we can figure, it's a career high for Allison Curtin. She had scored 33 against early in the season against Nokomis. But she's got 34, and they're the biggest 34 Taylorville has ever seen. Molly Watson again from 3, missing everything. Once again, the rebound and the foul. Maxwell will go to the line. And if that foul is on Sarah Larson, she's gone. It is, and she is. Sarah Larson, the 5'11 sophomore, 12 points. She leaves, or will leave, as soon as Evan Massey will send Jessica Thompson in there. Fine effort by the sophomore, Sarah Larson, the only sophomore in the Galesburg lineup.
Now, this Galesburg team, they lost 3 seniors last year to graduation, and they weren't really sure about this year, but they've had team members step up, one of those being Sarah Larson.
8 points for Maxwell, 6-point lead. Well, they can still do it. Galesburg needs the 2 threes. And the turnover, and that should be the end of it. Gallion fouls Givens. And the Taylorville crowd goes wild. 15.9 to go. So here is is Alexis Givens. And if there's an unsung hero in this game, it is she, because the work that Alexis Givens has done on the offensive boards, both ends, but especially on offense. You can forgive her that one right there.
She wished she could have, because she knew the air ball from the other side was coming.
She looked around. Suzanne Curtin. Suzanne said, don't worry about it. We got this one now. Maxwell gets stuffed by Thompson. Here comes Watson. 8 seconds to go. Out of bounds with 5.3. And the Taylorville crowd, which numbers about 3/4 of the folks here, and this could well be a record crowd. They had 7,500 here yesterday. They're all on their feet. Watson, that's it. They're going to have to come back and try to do it again tonight, but they just love the opportunity. The Lady Tornadoes of Taylorville coming back with their best player on the bench, got her back, and she made the difference. 67-61. A symphony of purple and gold.
What an exciting basketball game. It was everything we thought it was going to be. Fast-paced, up-tempo, big-time players stepping up and getting the job done.
Well, let's check our Pepsi play of the game, and this came late in the 4th quarter. That, in effect, sealed this one for Taylorville. There is Gibbons on the free throw line. She'll miss, but guess who's there? Getting position. Allison Curtin finishing off her points with the big putback. Chaos reigns, so does Taylorville. We'll take a break.